What's up, Sportman family? It's your boy Sparkman, and welcome back to another Market Watch. Today, we have a lot to talk about as there's been a lot going on in the market with Bonanza, but just a lot of cards in the market in general, spiking in price, doing its thing. It's kind of crazy, right? We've seen a lot of quantities go down in the market, but those prices really escalate to an all-time high. And people getting kind of frustrated at these prices as well. And talking to a lot of people on Instagram and in the community in general, they seems to be a very much a frustration with these prices. But here's what I will say, you know, it was telling that these things were going to happen, right? We have fan favorite cards at a very shiny type of rarity, very glossy, things that will pop, look really good, especially if you're playing in your deck, in your collection, your binder, whatever you're doing with it. It was always going to escalate in price. You waiting this long was your mistake. That was the mistake. Never should you have waited this long to buy into this market, especially the quarter century secret rare market for Bonanza, especially that had a bunch of nostalgia cards, right? So that's why I gave that warning in my recent video where I basically talked about with Stampede on its way, you cannot wait. You have to buy in early. And expect people to buy in early given what they've seen here with Bonanza now. So those prices may actually be adjusted on the early day buy-in, where those prices actually might be at a high coming off of pre-sale, right? So we might just see those prices not really be at where Bonanza was, where that $30 Jinzo, $30 Summer Skull, it might not even be there at all. It might just be right at the $80 price point that we're seeing Jinzo hold now, right? So those are things to definitely worry about, but here's what I'll tell you so that way you can kind of relax as well. So with all these high prices, right, people are going to be more inclined to buy booster boxes of quarter century Bonanza. What they do with it, we shall see, right? Will they keep it sealed? Will they open it? My thought process is that if they buy the booster box, they're most likely going to want to open it because they're going to try to pull one of these quarter century secrets that are spiking in price. And really everything in the market for the quarter century secret is spiking in price, right? A lot of quantities are down, even on the cheap stuff. And that's a given because, again, we talked about it. There'll be certain archetypes that get support. Those things will go up in price, right? There'll be certain things people want to collect. Those things will go up in price. So all around the market, quarter century secrets, especially given what this set is, expect high increases over time. But again, there's that thing we talked about, right? Does this new price point set the market? Does this new price point, even if the quantities raise, does this price point stick? It could. And that's the scary part. So even if you're opening up the Bonanza and there's a lot of quantities, right? Right now there's 16 listings on Jinzo. Let's say they happen to be 30 listings next week, or 35 or 40. Can this price come down? Sure, but not by a lot. Maybe you'll see it at 75 instead of at 85. But keep in mind, everybody, weeks ago, this was at $30. So that's why when we were talking about buying into these certain cards, especially like Jinzo, right? Especially like Summon Skull, especially like Dark Paladin, Dark Magician, right? This hasn't really moved too much, but these types of cards, like right now, yeah, I definitely would buy these types of cards. These are things to definitely be looking at because they're probably going to go down listings just like every other card has. It's bound to happen, right? Again, this is the scary part, is that we don't know what will happen if people buy into the actual sealed booster box. We don't know whether or not they will rip it or keep it sealed. And if they do rip it, will they put the card up for sale? Because that's the other part, is are they ripping it so that they can just grab the card and keep it for themselves? Or are they ripping it to sell it? Those are things to think about as well, because that actually might set the market into another wayward fashion where the prices actually may continue to escalate even more than it is now. It's good if you bought in early. It's good if you opened early. If you have any of these cards, it's good on you, because you are seeing those profits in your favor for sure. And that's why, again, I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. If there are cheap QCRs in this quarter century booster box, the Bonanza, the Rare Collection 1, 2, Stampede coming out, if you see cheap QCRs from those sets, especially Bonanza and Stampede, since we're going to have more nostalgic cards coming in those sets, buy it. Buy it. My recommendation is to buy it, hold it, wait for that opportunity for you to increase your profit margin, right? We always talk about cards you can buy in early so you can see the long-term value in it. This way you can buy into other things. This is your opportunity to now take a look at the market, take a look at all these cheap QCRs, right? We look at the rarity. We had Corsair Secret Rare. We can go low to high, right? Instead of looking high to low, we'll look low to high. You see all these dollar stuff, you see the 6am stuff, you see all the Edison stuff, right? All these things, they can all increase in value very fast. Very, very, very fast, right? Dark World stuff. Anytime, at any point, there could be support for a certain archetype, and these QCRs will increase tenfold, right? X-Saber, Ceasefire, all these things. Vampire Lord, Man-Eater Bug, Trap Hole. These things are waiting to burst in price. This is why you buy in early. As early as you can. These will all break the market, especially at some point within the next few weeks, I feel like. There's been a lot of buyouts. Don't be waiting and regretting. Don't regret. A lot of people are regretting now. Don't be one of those people. Buy in early if you can. That's my recommendation. If you have spare cash laying around, if you have spare anything laying around, now is the time, everybody, because we're seeing that market really go up for this rarity, for this set in general. And like I said, this is a very telling sign of what Stampede has coming and waiting for us as well. Now we are yet to see what else is in that set, and that is also a worrisome because a lot of people did buy into cases early as well, expecting that same type of nostalgic hit, and amazing cards, meta cards to be reprinted. We've seen some meta cards already been announced for that set, so we'll see what happens, but there's a lot of hype going into Stampede, so yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, the new set, Maze of the Master. Here's what I'll tell everybody. Wait a little bit longer for something like Silent Magician level 8. I know a lot of people are fans of this card. They're like, oh, I want to collect this card, I want to have this card. Sure, I actually can see that price going down 35. Realistically, I really can't see it happening. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Sparkman, come on, man, this is a really nice card. It's good. It's a collection pickup. It's such a... Sure. But I think, give it another week or two, I could see it hitting 35. If I'm mistaken, I always say it. I'll bite my tongue. I was wrong, right? But I would wait on it. I'll wait on it a little bit, especially since this set, a lot of people are very hesitant. They don't know whether or not to buy into the set because really all you are looking to grab here in this is 7th Tachyon or Pirellia. At this point, when you look at the Ultra Rare for Pirellia, you might just well buy the Secret Rare. And you would never, I would hope you've been listening. Do not buy Collector Rare Pirellia. It's not worth the money. It's not worth the price tag. It's not worth you wasting money on. Because we all know it's going to go down when there's a better rarity, given the fact that there's probably going to be a better rarity for this one as well. And given the fact that there is a better rarity in Corsair Secret Rare, yes, I know it's expensive, but again, the price for a collector depreciates so fast. Why waste your money on something that you know will not hold up in value? Just don't do it. So definitely don't buy that one. If you're looking for a cost-efficient Pirellia, okay, sure, buy the Ultra. But if you're looking for a little more of an upgrade for a couple more dollars, I definitely would have buy the Secret Rare if I were you. Like, go ahead and invest in the Secret Rare. It definitely holds up better for you. Yeah, same with number 107. This probably can hit 26. Wait till this hits 26 and then go for it. There's a lot of great cards in this one that I personally like the artwork and just the overall sense of Odeon in this as well. Like, it's just so cool to have like an Odeon type of deck. And I do feel like this type of set does have a sense of nostalgic hit, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to hold up as well as people think it will. So there's that as well. And then collector rare, you see it all across the board. It's not doing well, right? It's not going to hold up well. But prices are so cheap all around the board that, that's one of those things where people are kind of like, they really don't want to buy into the set sealed. Like, look at the price, depreciate under 60. And I did tell everybody it would depreciate under 60 quite fast, right? We talked about it. My recommendation is probably not to buy into this set sealed. Just get your singles or what you want, the stuff you want to create in certain decks. And again, don't buy into collector rares. They're just not worth the money, everybody. I'm sorry. For my collector rare fans, this is not to come at you, but it's just not worth the money to buy into, because there's always a better rarity that comes about, and then just that the collector rare just dies almost immediately. That's just my personal opinion. All right, as we look forward to the 25th anniversary tins, here's my recommendation, everybody. Yes, it's definitely worth buying into the Blue Eyes Core Century Secret Rare. I think we've talked about this a lot. If you haven't bought into it already, you know what you're waiting on at this point. Hopefully you have bought into it already. The Crimson Dragon and Superstar Slayer Chaos Angel, these 3 cards right here will most likely get reprinted within the next few months. My recommendation is to sell. The price point probably will not be going up any much more than it is now by too much. I mean, maybe Crimson Dragon can hit 45. Maybe that's what you're waiting on. Maybe Superstar Slayer can hit 33, 34. Again, if you're waiting for a couple dollars, just don't do it. Just sell at this point. It's not worth waiting and then it gets reprinted, or the announcement of a reprint, and then you lose out a lot of money. Same with Chaos Angel. We talked about it. This should be a buy, a long time ago. I know there's a lot of listings. I know there's a lot of quantity, everything you should be buying. Gravekeeper Inscription, this should have been bought a long time ago. And if you haven't bought into it already, now might be your time. Raigeki, the alternate artwork, we talked about this so much, about this one, how amazing that one is. Yeah. Buy if you can, everybody. Cosmic Blazer Dragon, that should be a buy. Rev Synchron. Oh, talk about Rev Synchron. Actually, you know what? I have a tab coming. We'll wait a little second, since I know I promised everybody that I would buy Rev Synchron. I'll wait a little bit. Okay, let's see what else is there. Bonfire stuff here, Wanted in this. There's certain cheap stuff that you look at now, you're like, I probably should buy it. Tomb Kingdom, that should be an easy buy. These QCRs, I'm telling you, these are easy buys. Link Spider, Wake Up, Excel, these are easy buys. You should be buying into it almost immediately. Red Dragon Archfiend for my 5D fans. This tuning alternate artwork, by the way, it's so beautiful. Just buy it for the artwork. Honestly. We talked about Avazar Lars, even the QCR from the set for, I think, Duelist Nexus, if I'm not mistaken, it was worth buying into. I think this is still an undervalued QCR, in my opinion. Bahamas Shark, we've talked about that a lot. Shout out to my one of my Market Watch friends, ROTC, baby. Go check him out. Number F0, it's another one. There's just so many QCRs that you should definitely just hold on to, have. It's just a given, right? Ubel. There's just so many. All right, talk about Supreme Darkness, another newer set as well. We gotta take a look at this, man. This is insane. We talked about this at $30. It was 29 for a little bit, right? 31. It was at 29 for a little bit, actually. Look at this, everybody. Look at the escalation price. We're at 40 now. QCR going up, and don't think the actual Ultra isn't going up either, because when we talked about buying it at $1, yes, $1, it's now at $4 for the Ultra, so it's gone up. So hopefully you've been paying attention, and hopefully you've been buying into it, because you're going to see that price very much in your favor now. And I don't think this is slowing down too, to be honest with you. First of all, no one's opened up Supreme Darkness because it's really a terrible set. I hate to say it because I actually do like the set to some regard, but it's a terrible set. People are not really willing to spend money on it. So now you're going to have increased cost of things, quantity going down in a lot of things. So there's that as well. And keep in mind, Supreme Darkness, um, it has certain cards that will spike up at certain times. So you got to really be paying attention, right? Right now, I told you Clockwork Knight is one of those cards. Liberate Ito is another card that I think eventually at some point will do its thing. It's very cheap. It's an $8 QCR. I would buy it if I were you. That's just my opinion. I think at some point this might become relevant, but we'll wait and see. Argo Stars is another one. Right now that could be relevant at this point in time. I don't know about too much in the future, but right now, sure. Yeah, man, there's some things that you should definitely just be keeping your eye on. We've talked about it a lot. Rage of the Abyss, this is just another amazing set, but take a look at Heart of the Blue Eyes. If you haven't bought it already, which I implored everyone to buy so long ago, take a look at this. Oh my god, can't speak. 77, 78, going up to $80, and this was about what, 50? At one point I believe this was like 45. A given that this was going to go up. We talked about a lot about that card. Yeah, man, check out this, by the way. Check out the listings. Just be careful. This is another one. Look at this. See that increase? That's not slowing down, especially with that listings going down, down, down. Be aware of that one continuing to increase in price as well. All right, everybody. I mean, like I said, there's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot of increase in pricing and a lot of things that you should be very aware of. And we talked about a lot about this already in previous market watches, but again, reiterating a lot of those things so that way people and yourself are aware of what's going on. And I told in, I think, my previous market watch, the buy it now one, I told you I was going to buy the Rev Synchron QCR because it made sense to buy it. It's so cheap, I had to go out and get one myself. I told you it's a buy, and I went ahead and bought one myself for $30. Really happy I did that. It's a smart purchase. I think anyone buying into this at $30, given what it is, given the effect of what this card is, it's a smart purchase, smart buy. Yeah, it's just my recommendation. If you are looking to build this type of deck, man, and in the future, I know this will be relevant at some point. This is a good pickup and a very smart pickup at that as well. And just last but not least, I've been thinking about creating a Star Wars Unlimited channel because I've been getting into Star Wars Unlimited. It's a really cool game, another TCG. Let me know what you think. Is anyone else here playing Star Wars Unlimited? It looks really awesome, right? I just, the cards resonate a lot with me because I love Star Wars growing up as well. So it's just really cool to collect. And it's a new game that I'm learning, so it's really cool in that aspect as well. And there's serialized cards in this as well. There's just so much that this offers as well in terms of both playing and collecting that, yeah, man, I'm very much looking forward to seeing where this game, goes to. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about today's Market Watch. Let me know what you think about Star Wars Unlimited. What cards are you buying right now? And what cards should I be looking at in the next Market Watch? But that's about it for this Market Watch. I hope you guys enjoyed. From yours truly, Sparkman. We'll catch you next one. Please comment, and peace out, YouTube.